Hey, welcome. It's Roy Shenneman. I am President CEO of Tier1Coaching.org, Tier 1 Coaching and Development, and we are here to help you to get your next job and to do the very best you can in your developing your career. This series what we're doing right now, it's called Interviews Made Easy. It's all about helping provide you with some tips just to help you improve your ability to get that next job, get that next interview, and to just excel into the future. And so that's what we're all about here today. You might just a quick review some of the things we talked about so far. As we add this, the first thing we talked about was making ourselves obvious to those people who might want to hire us. Basically paying attention to that company, getting to know that company. What do they do? What do they serve? Things like that. Making sure that we are the perfect candidate for that job that we're going after. Secondly, we talked about making sure that we don't limit our application to merely filling out an application online or otherwise. We want to make sure that we make as many contacts as we possibly can. Perhaps that contact might be with somebody who works there, a relative, a friend, a referral to somebody else. Anyway, it's all about making those connections, hopefully improving. As we do that, we improve our odds of actually getting that interview and doing things like that. Second, we also understand that our resumes are living documents. There's something that should be improved over time, something that we should pay attention to. In other words, you don't just create a resume, stick it on the shelf, and then pull it out 5 years later when you have a next job. Rather, you are constantly looking at it, upgrading your skills, upgrading what you say there, tailoring each application, each resume to the job you're actually pursuing at the time, and looking at things like that. And we talked about that last week when we met. We actually talked about just that we want to make sure that we are not going to bore people, that we are sharing just the exciting things that are going on in our life, the things that we're learning, the things that we are really, really good at, that, again, make us more attractive to that potential employer out there, make it something that people can really lock into and enjoy. So today, we want to talk about the importance of building your digital footprint. I'm not going to get into details how to do that because there's a lot of other information out there that can get into those kind of details. We want to talk about why it's important. Why is it important to have a digital footprint at all? Depending on how old you are, depending on your experience in your life, you may or may not be doing this right now. Most people are familiar with things like Facebook, but perhaps they may be familiar with other professionally. The professional version of Facebook is called LinkedIn. And if you're not on LinkedIn right now, I can tell you, as an employer, you are in many ways invisible. And that's the last thing you want to be. You do not want to ever be invisible to a potential employer. You want to make yourself as visible as possible, as accessible as possible. And that is what a digital footprint will do for you. It will allow you to do that. So I would encourage you, if you do not currently have a LinkedIn page, that you go ahead and develop one. Go online right now. There's a free version of it. There's one you can pay for. Just depends what you need to do. Perhaps start out with the free version and then kind of see where it goes from there, as far as what your interests are, what your developmental needs are in that regard. Basically, spend some time updating the data on LinkedIn. And then, just like your resume, that becomes essentially a living document that's out there on the web. 90% of recruiters today actually access LinkedIn, and they look there. Why? Because that is information that you are putting out there. And there's great controversy in the human resource world as to how much research can be done on things like Facebook and Snapchat and some of these other Twitter and some of these other digital footprints that are out there. There's some real controversy. However, LinkedIn is a little bit different because this is information you are actually putting out about yourself, about your employment history, about the skills you have, about the degrees, certificates, trainings, different experiences you've had that might make you the ideal candidate for that job that we're trying to fill. So take the time, look at it, develop it, and see how it might benefit you as you try to get that next job. Make sure that you're spending that time doing that, and understand that just because you have it on a website such as LinkedIn, you don't just set it and forget it. This is not a Ronco commercial, if you might remember those things. This is actually something that's a very, very important, that once you create this identity online, you go back periodically, update those skills, update those experiences, update those jobs, degrees, whatever it is that may be needed to be updated, and make sure you keep it fresh. And you're looking at new interests and new things. This is really, really important. Now, you can also use LinkedIn on the flip side. Not only is it a good place to market yourself, but this is also an opportunity where you can pursue jobs. Lots and lots, hundreds of companies all across this country use LinkedIn as one of their primary sources of advertising for positions. So you can use that to search for different kinds of jobs and read about them. Find out about what's in the listing, what's in the posting, what are things that they're looking for in terms of skill sets, experiences, locations, the whole 9 yards. You can find out a bunch of information about the company just by looking at their LinkedIn page. And now here's the thing too that's really important. There are settings within LinkedIn that allow certain job searches you may be performing to be done privately. So let's say that you have current fellow employees that you, at your current job, that you follow on LinkedIn, and they follow you. Well, maybe you don't want to tell them that you're looking for a job right now, because maybe it's not a real serious thing, or you're just kind of getting some feelers, what's going on out there, what might I be interested in the future. In situations like that, you can actually make the settings private so that the search you're doing isn't visible to other people, in the sense of identifying that you're actually out there looking. That's really important to do, especially if you're not ready to announce that you're leaving your job, or you're not really all that serious at this moment. You're just kind of getting that first stage of just getting some feelers of what might be possible for you. So important to think that through, important for you to use that and apply it into your own life. But make sure that you're developing a digital footprint. Facebook is great. LinkedIn's better in terms of getting jobs. Other applications, Twitter, Snapchat, some of these other things that potentially could have some application are certainly worth investigating. But for my money, if you did nothing else, I highly encourage you to get yourself a LinkedIn page and keep it up to date. Keep adding to it. Keep following lots of innovative thinkers around this country and around the world are on LinkedIn, and you can follow them and really gain some valuable insights, things that, again, might help you as you're looking for that next job. Well, again, this is Roy Sheneman from Tier 1 Coaching and Training, and we are here to help you. And I invite you to go to our website, tier1coaching.org, and take a look at what we have there. We have lots of other tips available for you, training opportunities, things that are going to be coming. Keep an eye for some of the things that we're looking at right now, adding to our presence, and something that we might be able to do to help you. And with all that in mind, I wish you the best of this holiday season. And I thank you so much for paying attention tonight, and look forward to our next time together. We look for other tips and interviews made easy. Thank you, and have a great evening.